Hello and welcome to the Sound Test Room. My name is Jakob. I'm your host and you're watching a FigureAddiction episode. In this episode, I'm gonna show you how to hook up two iPads so that you can use two instances of Figure for a live performance. I recently posted a live performance called Psychedelicious. It's a psychedelic trance track that were made using two iPads and Figure loaded onto both iPads. I want to show you how to hook it up both with the hardware and the apps. Now before we get into the hardware setup, I'm going to show you how to use WIST to actually connect these two devices together and sync both instances of Figure. One will become master and the other one will become slave. And I actually believe that they removed WIST, and I've been telling people that, so I'm so sorry if you're watching this. WIST isn't gone, it's here and you can use it. Go into options and enable WIST. It's going to ask you to turn on the Bluetooth if you haven't turned it on already. And instantly it discovered my iPad mini 1. Now I want this one to become the master, so I'm going to press on Jakob's iPad mini 2 Retina and wait for this one to respond. I'm going to accept that connection, and as you can see, the WIST logo here is blue, the WIST logo here is red. This one is slave and this one is now master. That's how you connect WIST. So when you do a live performance like that, it's really nice to be able to record all of the sounds going on at once. So you need some way to get the sound from one iPad into the other. What I used for my video was this. It's a Behringer U-Control UCA202. They're really inexpensive and they are very easy to get a hold of. And to use this with an iPad, you actually need the CCK, the camera connection kit. It looks like that. We also need a stereo RCA cable with a phono 3.5 inch connector at the end. It looks like this, and this end will go into an iPad and this one will go into the Behringer UCA202. When you're buying cables like this, don't buy these really inexpensive ones. You should get something better with a thicker cord. We are iOS musicians and we carry our stuff with us all the time. These things breaks very easily. Now I'll put links down in the description to all of the gear you see here, so you can go and check it out yourself. You can also do this setup with two iPhones or one iPhone and an iPad. As long as you have two devices, this setup is possible using just these things, and the apps I'm using are also available for the iPhone, so don't worry about that. Now let's get into the connection bit. We start by connecting this plug, and this iPad will only be running Figure, so right in there into the headphones slot. The actual cable looks like this, so I'm just going to put this over here. Now that we have this cable connected, we're going to connect this one into the input of the Behringer UCA202. So red to red and black to white. If you turn this around, you will get the left signal sounding on the right signal and vice versa. So keep that in mind. Now that this is connected, we're going to connect the UCA202 to the iPad mini 2. And we do that by first inserting the camera connection kit. Like that. We're then going to plug the USB out from the Behringer UCA202 into the camera connection kit. And I'm going to place it right here so you can see the LED lighting up when it connects. Now it's got power. The next thing we need to do is to load up all of the apps. We can start by loading up Figure on this iPad. Now let's load up AudioBus on this side. As soon as AudioBus is loaded, we are going to load up the system audio input. It's going to take the audio from the Behringer UCA202 because it's connected to the camera connection kit into this iPad. Next, I'm going to load up Figure on the same lane. And I do that on purpose because I actually want to put another effect in the effect slots in AudioBus. Now I want to limit the audio output, so into the effect slot I'm going to load up Amazing Noises Limiter. But before I do that, I'm actually going to plug in my headphones. That way the sound will go out through my headphones and I won't get any kind of feedback, because that can actually happen with some apps. The sound coming out from the speakers down below on the iPad right here can actually go up and around into the microphone right up here on the iPad, creating a feedback loop, which can destroy your internal speakers. I'm going to move this up a bit. Now I'm going to load up Amazing Noises limiter. Now I'm going to go into the limiter and check this box here that comes up. It's a warning about the feedback loop that I just told you about. I usually load up my preset that I have for this. I always make a preset. And if you don't know how to use limiters, tell me down in the description below and I'll make some kind of a tutorial for it. Now that this is done, we only need one more thing, and that is to actually load up the app that is going to record this whole session. I usually go with audio share. Now that audio share is loaded, I'm going to go into audio share. I'm going to push up the iPad so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to press the microphone button right there and I'm going to press record. Now it's actually recording and now we can start playing our session. But let's just check if we're getting any sound. So if I press play here, we should see sound coming in here. And we have sound. Let's stop this and let's start Figure on this iPad. And we have sound. This way you can record a dual session using two iDevices, either two iPhones, two iPads, one iPad or one iPhone, and do live sessions. Now before I play the featured track, I just want to remind you that we have a great group where we can discuss figure related stuff, post our tracks. It's called the Figure Addicted group on Facebook. Go and join up, post your tracks, discuss figure, and hear about the latest news from the developers themselves. They are also members of this very fine group. Also, if you're using Figure, Take or Reason, join up on the Propellerhead's Discover service where you can share your tracks and collaborate with people from all over the world. The developers have been working hard on this site and now you can follow, comment and like the music made by other Figure, Reason and Take lovers. The track featured this time on FigureAddiction is Feel It by Lordondrums.